Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. This is not what I call a big offseason. It's a big offseason in only one sense, and it's the biggest disaster in the Giants' history. Now I know I'm exaggerating a bit, but sometimes you gotta do that to make a point, especially in baseball. The Giants not only missed out on Aaron Judge, but they're not too much closer to improving their roster over last year. Now before I get into this, you probably want to know what happened to me personally at the winter meetings. You might be wondering, is he not going to be a Giant anymore? What's going on here? There are 30 teams there. Where I don't know all of the details and where I really don't have a map of everything that could happen in the future, can't map everything out, it's probably best for me to really keep my mouth shut on what I really got going until I know more of the details. But I do want to mention one encounter I had with Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Somebody pointed him out to me. I went over to the table where he was sitting. He was talking to another gentleman. And I waited for a break in the conversation until I could just go and introduce myself. And I did. Gave him my business card. And then I asked him, just wanted to hear his perspective. I asked him, do you guys think you're going to get Aaron Judge back? And I could see the worry in his face. He just looked and he said, I don't know. He wasn't super confident there. I can tell you for sure. He was not super confident, and later I found out he had a pretty big scare. He thought the Giants had come to something with Aaron Judge, and then Brian Cashman, the general manager, told him, it's okay, didn't do anything. But the point here is the Giants had a real threat going on signing Aaron Judge. They had a threat. In fact, they were one step away. I think I can honestly say that the Giants almost did sign Aaron Judge. They were so close to getting to a deal with him. And how did it not happen? I hope that the explanation is going to come out sometime. But as of right now, we just have to wonder. If they had to bump the contract value up to $400 million to get him, and why did they let him go for $360 million? How did that happen? Letting him go, that's a lot of money. It's a ton of money over a 9-year period. But to let him go for that much when he's the most critical player in baseball and you need to get back into contention, not what I would have done. I don't know if I sound crazy. If they had to go up to $400 million to get Aaron Judge, would have been worth every penny. It would have been nice too if they could have snuck in a 10th year on that contract. But even if they couldn't, even if it'd be 9 years, $400 million, they would have had to do it to get Aaron Judge that critical. Now, if you could add in a 10th year, I honestly, if it were me, I would have been open to bumping it considerably beyond $400 million, $430, $440, or $450 million over 10 years. That's how critical Aaron Judge was. Dollar value, can't sneeze at it, can't be stingy in making offers for Judge. Yes, he was wanting a lot, but they needed to be willing to spend a lot. And even if it were the full extent, every penny of 10 years, $450 million, I believe the Giants should have been willing to pay that much if it were necessary to get Aaron Judge on their team. But however it is, they were a step away from signing him, and somehow they blew it and the Yankees got him. And it was Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman that came out with the win on this one in the end. It's not just Judge, then, that the Giants missed out on. While they were negotiating with Judge, Trey Turner was lost. He signed with the Phillies. And I understand, you can't really negotiate two high-dollar contracts and just do heavy negotiating on them at the same time, or you can, but it's going to be a big strain on your budget to negotiate with both those players at the same time. I completely understand that going after Aaron Judge took some attention and focus for the Giants, and they couldn't keep a firm hold on really the other available free agent candidates right now. But if you're going to do that, you better make sure you get the guy that you're going after. It took all the Giants' focus. Trey Turner slipped away, and it didn't, basically they didn't get the prize. They didn't get Aaron Judge. And Jacob deGrom signed with the Rangers. Clayton Kershaw re-signed with the Dodgers. Xander Bogaerts signed with the Padres. Kenley Jansen signed with the Red Sox. And let's see, as of right now, I think that's all the main guys that the Giants just missed out on. So this is bad. It's a real bad situation. And by the way, Carlos Rodon has been talking to at least one other team. I don't exactly remember which one. I just know it's one other team there. Carlos Rodon has had some talks going on, and do I have any reason to believe the Giants are even now aggressively pursuing him? Well, it's not what I've really been hearing. The Giants' way of pursuing players, to me, if I can say this, is just too mild. They need a new way of asserting themselves. I don't know exactly what yet, but somehow they always fall behind, just like they did at the trade deadline. And then, back then, you might have just some little bit of an excuse and say, well, they likely would have been out of contention anyway, and that may be true. Now, would they have gotten, say, Juan Soto if they hadn't had that big losing streak? We'll never know. I'll never be able to tell you, because they had the losing streak, didn't get him, and regardless of whether you think they could have clinched the final wildcard spot or not, it was clear that they were probably in a negative rather than a positive position at that point. So if there's some kind of an excuse, like some kind of a, season could have gone in the garbage anyway, but this offseason, this was the time to re-strengthen the team to build it for future contention. This offseason was the time when the Giants needed to do something to come to their own rescue, and it didn't happen. In losing Aaron Judge, the Giants, they lost a lot. I don't know how I can even really express it. They lost a huge chance for the next 9 years, which I'm sure it's going to surpass the prime of Judge's career. So this was just a bad one. It's going poorly for the Giants right now. They did sign Mitch Haniger, and I will admit Haniger's been a pretty good player over his career, but it's clear to me that they need more, and they haven't been getting it. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you have not. Thank you so much, everybody who subscribed to this channel. You really help it to run and to keep it in front of viewers. I will see you next time on Giants Baseball 101. Please leave questions or comments. You know where to do it.